What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to pair PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 controllers with your Arcade One system. The first thing you'll need to know is that you're going to need a Bluetooth adapter. If your PC has built-in Bluetooth, you can use that, but if it doesn't, I recommend getting this adapter right here. It is the TP-Link UB400. I'll leave a link to this adapter in the description, but this is the one that I've tested and I know that it works. So once that is plugged into the system, over here, you're going to have your Bluetooth settings. So we're going to go in there, click on that, and then go to Open Settings. And then right here, all you want to do is click on this Add Bluetooth or Other Device. And then you want to select the first option right here. And now it's going to be looking for a Bluetooth device. So what you want to do on your controller is you want to hold the Share button and then at the same time press the PlayStation button. So if we take a look at a picture over here, I'm talking about the Share button right here, hold that down, and then while you hold that down, also hold down this button here until the controller shows up on the list. If you have a PlayStation 5 controller, it's the same thing as this button right here. You hold that down and then hold the PlayStation logo button down right there. All right, so I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to do that on my controller. This is a PlayStation 4 controller I have here right now. Doing that right now, still holding, and now the controller starts to flash. The LED on the back of the controller starts to flash. So now this is a little bit tricky because we have other controllers that are showing up here. And that's because I've paired controllers to this computer before. So I'm just going to guess and just do the first one on the list and see what happens. All right, so it doesn't seem like it's that one because it usually connects pretty fast. So I'm going to try the next one. Okay, there you go. So the first one didn't work. It was taking too long, so I just did the second one, and then I went ahead and connected. So now my PlayStation 4 controller is lit solid. The LED is lit solid, and it's like a white tint to it, all right? So I'm going to click Done, and now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with my PlayStation 5 controller. So I'm going to go to Add Again, Bluetooth, and I'm going to hold down Share and the PlayStation logo. Still holding. And now the controller starts to flash blue, okay? And it should show up on the list here soon. There you go, DualSense wireless controller. It could also show up as just a wireless controller. So I've seen it do both. So I'm going to select that one there. And there you go, it connected. And now the LED on the controller is lit solid blue. Okay, put that down and click Done. All right, so now that our controllers are paired and you can see there that they're both connected, I'm just going to close out of here, minimize that, and I'm going to go over here to the desktop. I provide you guys with a USB game controllers icon right here. I'm going to go in there and you can see that both controllers are showing up there. And if you want to go to properties and move the joystick around or press any buttons, you can see that they're going to respond. And that's for both controllers. That's just a quick way to know like, okay, I'm connected and my controller is responding. All right, so that is out of the way now. Next thing you want to do is go over here to this PC and go to Utilities and go to DS for Windows. Inside there, right at the top here, you're going to have Enable PlayStation Controller. That is a script that I provide to you guys, and that's going to make it so that the software DS for Windows, which is required to make the controllers act as Xbox 360 controllers, runs automatically for you whenever you start up your computer, whenever you start up Hyperspin. So I'm just going to simply double click that. It's going to say Done, Enjoy. And if you guys click it again, it's just going to tell you that your controllers are already enabled. So it doesn't let you do it twice, all right? So once you run that installer, basically, you want to open up ds4windows.exe right here. And we're just opening that up so I can show you guys some things. But that's it for the installation or the basically pairing of the controllers. Right now your controllers are going to work if you were to go into Hyperspin. So right there you heard the connection sound that Windows makes when you plug in a controller because I started ds4windows.exe, which basically turns the controllers into Xbox 360 controllers. So Windows thinks you just plugged in some Xbox 360 controllers into the PC. So again, if we go over here to USB game controllers to verify that, you can see that now you have Xbox controller, Xbox 360, and you have another one here. So both controllers are acting as Xbox 360 controllers. You do have an extra wireless controller here that shouldn't be here. So I'm going to go ahead and open up DS for Windows, which should be over here on the bottom right. is this colorful icon right here. Double click on that. And it's showing me two controllers right here. Now, I'm going to show you guys some things here that you can play with if you like. But like I said, setup is done. So you can do cool things like you can set up a profile for each controller and you can tweak all sorts of settings, and you can do that over here. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that real quick. You go to New, and I usually just say yes to this first option. It's just going to give you pretty much a template. And I'm going to select the output controller as an Xbox 360 and click Apply. And so right now, all your buttons are pretty much mapped. You guys can look around here. You can tweak anything you like as you like. You have all sorts of settings for the controllers. One quick, easy, cool thing that you can do is go over here to the light bar, and you can assign different colors to each controller for the LEDs. So let's say you want your player 1 to be red. You go down all the way on the blue, all the way on the green, and then you can see that it turns red over here. It shows you a visual representation of what you're changing here. So now the player 1 controller is going to be red. The LED is going to be red. So you want to then save any changes you made. You want to save. So you want to go over here and give it a name. So let's say I name it P1 controller. I'm going to save, and then it brings you back to this screen. Now, very important, if you don't select the profile you just created from the drop down, it's not going to take it, it's not going to come into effect. So let's say player 1, I select that controller or that profile I just made, P1 controller. You can see here it shows a representation that it's red, and my physical controller here now, my PlayStation 4 controller, actually the LED on it turned red, which is very cool. So let's say you want your player 2 to be green. Again, you create another profile. Say yes to that. Click Apply. I'm going to go back over here to light bar, and I'm going to go down all the way with the red, down all the way with the blue. Now it's green. So I'm going to save that one. Let's say P2 controller. Save that. And now I'm going to select it right here. Turn green, and my PlayStation 5 LED is now green. So pretty cool. Now, one other thing I want to mention is out of the box, I'm going to go back to my profiles of no mouse. And the reason it's called no mouse is because I disable the trackpads, or the little touchpad on the controllers, right? And the reason I do that is because they're easy to hit when you're using the controllers and playing games. And because they're a mouse click and a mouse cursor, essentially like they control your cursor, sometimes you can end up clicking like outside of the game area, and it's called losing focus. Like you take focus away from, let's say, the game that you're playing, and then all of a sudden your controllers don't respond anymore, and you may think that your system is frozen or something like that. And it's just because you tapped that, the mouse pad, moved the cursor away, clicked somewhere on the screen, and now you'd have to like do Alt Tab or, move the mouse back and click on the game, but the mouse is going to be hidden, because that's just a feature that's there on purpose so that you don't see the mouse cursor on the screen all the time. Anyway, long story short, I configured out of the box so that trackpad, that mouse pad, does not work for you. If you want to re-enable that, because you can use it as a mouse, and you can play games that are point and click, you can play things like Angry Birds, you can play all sorts of things. Any game that's like a point and click game, you can use that for. So if you want to go ahead and enable that, just keep that in mind, that if it acts funky on you and you're playing a game and all of a sudden you can't control it anymore, you may have pressed the mouse pad and click somewhere outside of the screen. So with that said, to enable that, again, you go over here, and all you have to do really is select the default profile, because the default profile already has those enabled. If I move it now, see, I'm moving the mouse with the PlayStation 5 controller, and this is with the PlayStation 4 controller. But if you guys ever want to do anything further than that, the settings for that are pretty much over here. I'm just going to go into this no mouse profile, edit, and the settings are over here in touchpad. So it's set to pass through on my no mouse profile. When you set it to pass through, it basically disables it. You can put that back to mouse and just change whatever settings you want here. You can, you have other settings that you can play with, but just setting it to mouse will pretty much make it work as a mouse. So again, in short, out of the box, when you get it from me, it's going to be disabled. It's going to have this profile right here loaded. And if you want to re-enable the mouse, short way to do it is just select default for each profile. All right, so I just restarted the PC. I'm back here at the desktop and I'm going to open up USB controllers. And as you can see there, now the controllers are just showing up as Xbox 360 controllers, and I don't have any other extra controllers that show up here. And that's exactly what you want to see. By the way, when your controllers are connected to DS for Windows, again, that's the software we just set up before, they're going to be lit solid, all right? So they're going to turn from white to whatever color you guys set if you did go in and adjust the colors. Otherwise, the default color will be blue. All right, guys, that is going to be it for this video. Hope you liked it, and I'll see you guys on the next one.